Dan Campbell spoke about Hendon Hooker, and a couple days of practice, he had this to say.
I'm in my man.
Look, it's good to get him out there. I know he's excited, to be able to feel like he's now part of the team, from his own perspective. That's hard when you're limited to, I'm in meetings and that's about it. Then I go and rehab. And so I know he's excited to be out there. And look, we're just in the beginning stages of it, but he's, you can see just when he throws the ball, why we acquired him. He's got a poise about him, and he's got a really smooth delivery, if you will. Tight spiral, but he's just starting. He's just starting. But it's good to get him out there.
See a little smile at the end there.
Shout out Babytron. Yeah,
Shout
he
out,
was.
Shout out Baby. Actually, Babytron did.
Babytron just walked in.
That was kind of crazy.
Babytron just walked in the dispo.
we were usually capping, but Babytron did just walk by.
Babytron
that's
just
crazy.
literally just walked in at dispo.
Either way.
But yeah, he's happy, man. He's happy with the guy.
Be happy.
Be happy. Everything is awesome. No, he's just excited with the prospect of what Hendon Hooker can be, and he's glad to get the guy back out there, get him out there at all, working with the staff, working with the team as he should be, man.
Dude was gushing.
He was cheesing pretty hard.
Yeah, and all right, so a lot of people said, when he said tight spiral, that was a shot at golf. I don't know if it was a shot at golf more than it was an observation, but the dead giveaway that he's just excited at the prospect of what this kid can be. Again, I just want to reaffirm this, the guy was your man's here to stay. He's not going anywhere. I also got some news on that as well. Shout out to my guy Poole, but maybe we'll discuss that a little bit later. But Jared Goff is here for the remainder of the year. But Dan Campbell, it was you get excited enough about something, you just start laughing, giggling a little bit. He fucking literally just did that in the middle of the press conference.
He was cheesing pretty hard.
It even let out a little laugh and everything. And
well, I don't know.
And shout out to Dr. Detroit too, who hooked us up with those tickets to the Atlanta Falcons game, him and the UAW. But he's a ticket holder obviously, and every year they get to speak to Brad Holmes, Dan Campbell, do a little Zoom and ask questions. And I guess I remember when that first went down, he had mentioned they were kind of gushing over him then in the draft process. And it's I don't know, bro. You guys know that's what I want. It's not even a way shade towards golf in any form. It's just the fact that he's mobile and the fact he's gonna be on a rookie deal. And the fact that we talked about it. I said it right when that Hendon Hooker stuff started coming out. I'm Dan Campbell's not going to hide how he feels about that situation. He's pretty verbal. And I mentioned whether he's crying or mad or whatever. Him giggling in just 2 days of practice.
Yeah.
The prospect of something special is possibly there. And I just love that for my Detroit Lions, man. And if you're a Detroit Lions fan and you're hating on it because you're a golf fan as well, take it out of your mouth. Be a fan of the team for once. Because that can just lead to so many more you could talk Super Bowl, bro. We talked a little bit about this year, but it's okay, we face actual teams above 500, and it's can we talk Super Bowl? You lose the Packers. Can we talk Super Bowl?
Brian Ruth in the Woodward Sports Chat says, Detroit deserves a rookie contract at QB. Save all that money for the defense and Jonah.
Yes, bro. Everyone wants to throw it. You talk about it. Everyone wants to throw it in your face. Jared Goff. Jared Goff went to the Super Bowl on a rookie deal with a stacked team.
It's true.
Jalen Hurts, he's – by the way, too, that's the other part. I'm not taking shots. I'm not going to say any names, but there's a Mr. Salary Cap guy in this network that, claims, live and die by the salary cap. However, Jared Goff has the third highest salary cap in the league right now. You can't, spend any of that shit any type of way. It just works out better for the team. What you cheesing about, Chris?
I'm just thinking about the Kanye thing where he's like, I'm not gonna say what ethnicity this doctor was, and then, but who I'm thinking about, and then there's silence that he just goes Jewish. I thought you were about to do that with your little. I'm not saying this Cap guy. I thought you were gonna do the same thing.
I should have. I'm not gonna say it, but everyone already knows. Neil Rule. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
No, Neil's a guy though. I love Neil. But yeah, I don't know, man. Just so many. I don't know what I'm looking for. I guess prospect is being an actual Super Bowl contender.
Mm-hmm.
And I could see this team building in a way that's a lot more aggressive than we've seen. And I think maybe that's why you want to hang on to some of those picks. I'm still disappointed in the draft selection of Broderick Martin in the third round because ultimately that was what was given up for Chase Young. And it's okay, well, look what you're doing with your third round picks right now. It was nothing. And no offense, but just off the recent year. And it's just we're seeing it right now too with this defense.
Yeah, they still got a lot of work to do before they're going to be in serious contention for a Super Bowl. I think we all know that. They still have, excuse me, a lot of pieces they need to add to that defense. They still got different things they need to do to add to this team to make it really a complete roster. But they're on a very good path. They're on a very good trajectory. And you forget where they were 2 years ago,
Yeah. And again, I'm grateful and thankful to Goff. I look at it like a situation similar to like Alex Smith and so on and so forth, like what he was, like Patrick Mahomes. Somebody else commented that too on Twitter. But it's like, what I was going to say is like, look at the defense right now. It's like, yeah, the offense is great. And people have been Ben Johnson for like the recent skit. Just slap yourselves in the face. It's a turnover problem. Like, I don't understand how people are like diverting away from the turnovers and like pointing blame. But the defense is a perfect example of like, okay, we obviously need talent on the defensive side of the ball.
Yes,
it's a fucking need. And I think, and I don't want to I kind of apologize for the things we said about AG yesterday. I was more pointing to him like saying, hey, I don't fucking have guys. Like, I don't know what to do. That type thing. Not like
Pointing
I don't
claims.
know what to do. But I'm going to go, shut the fuck up, Smith. I hate you so much. I really do. But if you had a guy in a rookie contract, go out there and stack the fucking defense the same way that the Rams literally did when they had Jared Goff in his
it helps. It definitely helps. It frees up a lot of different things to be able to move around. We talked about that second pass rusher you can bring in, getting some of these guys that you like out there and bring them down and seeing what teams like San Francisco, like Philadelphia are able to do when you bring in these veterans, make big trades for a Christian McCaffrey, for a Trent Williams, for guys that would bolster your roster, top-tier guys in the NFL that are already established that you can afford to bring over because you have the flexibility to do it. So we'll see what happens. Nothing's set in stone, but Dan Campbell did have a little, quarter chub when he was talking about Hendon Hooker there.
Chris?
He did. Yeah, I just wanted to ask the question of, does the Hendon Hooker injury, like the injury that he suffered and the fact that he's just now getting healthy and being able to practice with the team, does that delay the typical timeline that we see with the quarterback sitting for a year and then coming in? Does that maybe mean that Hendon Hooker sits for this year and next year, and then you're potentially look at him as starter? Like, what are the possibilities of that, or is he just, or is just this 1 year?
You're saying like,
does his injury change the timeline? Does his injury change the timeline of like normally typically quarterbacks will sit for a year, right?
Entire year.
And then they
I don't know.
kind of, does that change for you the injury or not really because it's just sitting?
It's such a small sample size, but it's 2 days worth of practice.
Right.
But to have your head coach cheesing like that, like I think there's a positive sign there, and I think they're gonna go in. I don't think it's going to be read or reported as a competition, whether it's maybe it will because this team is bred off that competition every position. But I think it'll be Goff's team, whether a extension comes or not. It'll be Goff's team, and then if he has that little 2-game skid like he had this year, maybe then you start seeing a Hendon Hooker getting an opportunity to do his thing. You know what I'm saying? That's how I see it. It's actually, I think when Lamar first came in, remember Joe Flacco? That's another perfect example too, right? Joe Flacco, Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
But they still drafted Lamar Jackson with pick 32. Well, that's a similar situation. Lamar started the season. Joe Flacco started the season. A couple rocky starts. Okay, this is my excuse to give this kid a chance. Boom, Lamar Jackson's born. Similar thing with Deshaun Watson. It was Matt Schaub, I think it was, and whoever else. They didn't want. They took him, but they were going to start him right away. But he got hurt. Boom, perfect example. Perfect excuse to use this guy, and it takes off from
Russell
there.
Wilson. They just paid fucking Matt Flynn all that money.
Yeah.
Drafted Russell Wilson. He won the job outright in camp. So we'll see, man. There's a lot of things going on. He's got this tiny